Hello guys and welcome to the BTM Club Kitchen. Yes, here we are again, more food. Okay, January has been a very long month, but usually what breaks January up for me is the number of birthday parties that I have through January, and it kind of makes a month that's 74 days long much shorter. Anyway, this year of course we've missed all the birthday parties, and annoyingly I go to one party and she does the best chicken wings, the absolute best. Her name is Tasha Janine. You know her as Until Lemons Are Sweet. She does the best chicken wings, and of course this year I've missed it, so I've had to do them myself. And what I've done is having to cut them in 3 pieces. The big kind of leggy end, the middle part. But shall I tell you the strangest thing? These are my favorite parts. These little tiny bits here, when they are fried crispy, oh my word, they are delicious. So I'm having to do my own chicken wings this year, and I hope they live up to Tasha Janine's, Tasha Francis, Until Lemons Are Sweet chicken wings. Now these chicken wings are so easy to do. All I do is in the pot. Of course, you know, if you've been following the series, I always have to go through this process of washing the chicken, soaking it in lemon and salt, washing it off again, and which is all a bit boring for you guys to watch, but that's the process. I've done it a few times, but you don't need to see it every time, do you? So I've done it a few times. So all I do is, that's already done, and they're in the pot now, ready to be seasoned. Now again, my dry seasoning has been working overtime, which is garlic powder, onion powder, mixed herbs and chilies, black pepper of course, and I just sprinkle that on liberally, okay? Now I'm not gonna do a batter, it's just gonna be seasoned flour, but it's good to put seasoning on the actual wings themselves, then season the flour and dip it in. Now here the chicken wings are nicely seasoned in my dry seasoning, and what I'm going to do now is actually mix that same dry seasoning with some salt in regular self-raising flour. Can be self-raising or plain, makes absolutely no difference. And then we're going to dip the chicken wings into that seasoned flour so that there's kind of a double seasoning. As you can see, the seasoning's on it here. But it's kind of a double seasoning so that all of the chicken is coated and you get seasoned taste with every bite, but not batter so that it's not too heavy and too greasy. Right, as I said, it's just going to be seasoned flour. So here is the flour and that dry seasoning once again. That is 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of salt, because after it's cooked you can always add extra salt, okay? So as you see, just a very light coating of seasoned flour, and that's it. Right, here we go. So now we just add these chicken wings to the flour. Very easy. Let's go in. Let me stir them up and get them all coated. Now what I actually do is I let them sit in the flour for a while so that it kind of forms its own batter with the moisture that's already on the chicken. So I put it in and I let it sit in the flour, and it kind of forms its own bond with the chicken wings, or whatever you're frying really. So we stir that and get it coated, and then I let it sit for a bit. It binds, and then it really does provide a crispy coating for the chicken wings without it being a big, heavy, thick, sticky batter. Right, as I said, some 10 minutes later, I've allowed this to sit and rest in the flour so that they become beautifully acquainted. And now, here is the hot oil to just give it a good fry. There we go. Nice and dramatic. Bubbling, bubbling. Now, of course, as always, be careful when you're putting it in. Don't put too much in at once, because you've got to look at the levels of the oil and make sure it's not overflowing. Don't put in too much so that they've got room to move. That's it. And just let that do what it's got to do. Now, I advise that you have a nice trivet tray, which you will see me put them on when this batch come out. And that tray just goes into the oven. Not only does it drain the excess oil, it actually crisps up the outside a little bit more. So we'll see that in a second. Right, as you can see, the first batch is done, looking nice and golden. So I'm going to take those out. Yeah, those are my favorite bits, those little bits there, see? And I'm putting them on the trivet tray. Come on, don't fight me, that's it. Putting these on the trivet tray, and these are going to go in the oven. As I said, not only to drain off the excess oil, but also to crisp it up just a little bit more. Although they look pretty crispy, don't they? Why bother to do takeout? Right, so this process continues until all are done. And then I'm gonna mix a little chili and honey dip for them and just drizzle it over the top. And that's it. I really do wish you had smell-o-vision, I tell you. I know you'd love it. There we go, let's get those in. As I said, be careful with the levels. Don't fill it too much. Make sure they've got space around them so that you're not overflowing with the hot oil. And they actually don't stick together, they cook better that way. So yeah, see you when the whole batch is done for the next step. Oh my goodness, there is nothing like homemade fried chicken. And here is this batch coming out now, going on to the trivet tray. There we go. Get you nice and settled. Yes, homemade fried chicken. It's always been beyond me why people bother to go and get these from somewhere else. You can do these so easily at home yourself. How's it? They look good, don't they? Nice and golden. Yeah, they have to be golden and not overly cooked. That's right. One more batch to do and then we are done and ready for the next bit. Okay. Okay, so here are the chicken wings all on the tray, on the serving dish, and you'd be surprised how much excess oil comes out in that trivet tray in the oven process. So it's really quite good and they are so crispy you can't taste it at the moment, but I can guarantee they're really crispy. So all that I'm gonna do now is dab on a mix of honey, chili flakes and soy sauce, and that's it. I just dab that on over it, not too much because we don't want it to get soggy. Just 2 teaspoons of honey, a little olive oil, vinegar, and some chili flakes, just to give it a little extra something there, sweetness and a little extra heat. See my primitive ways here. That's it. Very simple. Then some fresh parsley from my garden. I know, don't you laugh at my parsley. It's seen better days. I've been using too much of it, so it's a bit sad looking, but it does the job. It does what it's supposed to, and it's still got a great flavor. And I just put some lime in there. Lime wedges, because it's quite nice with a squeeze of lime on it, in addition to everything else. And that is my take on Tasha Janine's Until Lemons Are Sweet fried chicken wings. I guess I'll have to wait until next January then, won't I? I hope you enjoy them if you try them.